Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to the lecture. In this particular video, we are going to learn about that how to organize test suites and subtest in the Node.js native test runner. So as you can see, I'm having a file named math.js, and inside of it, I have written two different functions. One is the add function and the second one is the divide function. In the add function, I'm returning the sum of two different parameters, which is a and b. And in the divide, I first put a condition, that is if the b is 0, then you throw a error of that division by 0, right? And otherwise just written a divided by b, that's it. So this is our math.js function. Now we are going to perform all the type of tests based on these two functions. So let's start. So I'm on the math.test.js file. As you can see, I have created the second file name math.test.js, right? Yeah. So let's first import few things. That is, first import test from node test, right? And after that, we need to import assert from the node assert, right? So let's import assert from node assert, like this. Got it? Now after that, what we will do, we will import those two functions that we have created here. So I'll write import add comma subtract from math.js file. Let me just pause my copilot for a few minutes. It is creating a disturbance. Yeah. After that, now let's first start with the simple test of addition, right? So I'll do what, I'll just write simple test for add. Here I'll do what, I'll write test, and inside of this I'll write add should return correct sum, right? And let's put the arrow function here, like this. And after that, I'll do what, I'll write assert dot strict equal, right? Strict equal. Inside of this, I'll call this function add. Now this assert is used for the conditions, right? I'll tell you how. So basically I put 2 comma 3 here, and then comma 5. So what I'm saying, that you do the test such that this function to add of, means this function add, which is having two different argument 2 and 3, will do what, will show me the result as 5. If it is equal, then give me the right answer, means you show me that the test is correct. Otherwise, just show me that it is not correct, there's an error, right? This is what we are going to do. Now we do the simple test for the divide also. Let's just copy the complete part here, and like this, simple test for divide, and divide here also, and divide here also, divide, like this. Got it? Now here, let's change these numbers. Let's make it 6 comma 2, 6 comma 2, and the value should be 3. Let's check it that whether it is giving me the right answer or not. So let's first save it and open the terminal. Here I'll write what, so basically for testing, what we do, we write node dash dash test, like this, and press enter. So there is some error, I guess. So it is saying that it's not subtract. Okay, this copilot always create the problem, I knew that. Okay, let's run it again. Node dash dash test, and as you can see on the top, since it is correct, right, it is correct, that's why it is giving me a tick here, which is showing that the test is now correct. And the second divide, it is also correct, because we had written 6 comma 2, and it is giving me that particular 3 here, right? Like this. So this was the test for the add and divide. Now let's move forward towards the main topic of our lecture today, which is test suites. Test suites. Now what is this? Well, basically test suite is a group of related tests, as you can see, I have done two different tests here, right? So like that, this test suite is a group of such related tests, right? These two are independent, but if the two different tests are related to each other, we just group it together and make it inside this test suites, right? So we can organize the test inside a parent block to make the results cleaner, right? So let's take an example of wrapping the math related test in a suit. So what we need to do first, let's make test, put a bracket here. Inside of this I'll write math. This is the format which I am writing, right? You need to just follow the same while working. Test math suit. Let's give a comma here and I'll write async, put a bracket. Inside of this I'll write let's give it t, right? And after that, let's start the main work. So first of all, since we have made it async, right? So what we are doing, we are making it asynchronous. So I'll write await here, await t dot test, put a bracket, and inside of this I'll write, let's give a message that is add should return correct sum, like this, right? And here I'll just put a comma and like this, let's create an arrow function. Got it? Let me just close this. Yeah, like this. So here I'll write what? I'll write assert dot strict equal, put a bracket, and inside of this I'll write add 2 comma 3 comma 5, like this. Got it? So this is one test, right? Now similarly, I'll just copy it and now paste it inside here. And again I'm saying that let's create it for the divide. So I need not to do the things differently. I'll just doing what? I'll just wrapping all the math related tests in a particular suit, right? So strict equal 2 comma 3 and then 5 is similarly for the divide. Let's just change few thing. Assert dot strict equal, let's make it divide. Let's give it some different value, that is 6 comma 2 that we given earlier. Let's check it again that whether it will give me the same result or not, right? And after that, let's give the case for the error also, right? If you can see here in the divide function, I had given a case for the error, right? So it will throw what? Division by zero error. Got it? So that's what we are going to do. So basically I'll do what? I'll write await, or I just let's paste it here, t dot test and divide, correct, divide. Let's remove everything from here. Divide should throw error on 0. You can write anything that you want. It's just because I want you to have the clarity that what I'm doing, that's why I'm writing such long message. Let's write assert dot throws, put a bracket here, like this, right? I created a what? Arrow function, and inside of this we are going to write divide, put a bracket, 10 comma 0. So this time I'm taking the b as 0, which will definitely throw an error, right? So just put a comma here, and here we will write what? We will write like this, division by 0, and let's close the bracket like this. Okay, it is already closed. So this is how we have written it, right? Let me just check it again, that is everything correct or not. Throws, then you put a bracket here, and then yeah, I think it is totally correct, right? Fine. So now let's move forward. I think there's no need of this curly bracket here, right? That's why I was thinking that there should be an error. Let's just save it and go to the terminal again, and let's see that whether it will give me the result as expected or not. So I'll write node dash dash test and press enter, and yes, you can see what is happening here. So at first it is doing what? It is giving me the result for those that we did earlier, right? So it is saying that yes, it was correct, divide was correct earlier. Now for the math function shoot that we have created, as you can see here, this is showing me that this is what, this is math function suit, right? It is already detected from here. So as you can see, if we start from here, so first of all, it is saying that the add is correct, divide is correct. Divide is showing the same error, right? Means in case of 0, it is giving that particular error which is showing that the test case was correct, right? So our math function suit is now correct because all the test cases inside of this are also correct. This is how it works. Got it? I hope you understood that how we work with the test suits, right? So this is how we do. Now let's move forward towards subsets, right? Now we are going to talk about the subsets. Well, subset is a smaller test inside a bigger test, right? It also works like the same, but it is useful when one feature has multiple scenarios, and it keeps the test report very clean and structured, right? So that's why we use it. I'll just give you some example to understand it better, right? So let's start working with the add function now. So what I'll do, I'll explain you everything related to, means what I said, that it is useful when one feature has multiple scenarios. So for the divide function, all the multiple scenarios could be what, the positive number, the negative number, kind of mixed number, right? So we will check that whether it will be correct or working with all the cases or not, right? So let's start since it is basic. So uh, the thing will look like same all the time, but that's the real work of it, right? With multiple cases, let's put a comma here, async and t, and let's write it like this. And here I'll do what, I'll write await t dot test, put a bracket, and here I'll write positive number, like this, and asserts dot struct equal, like this. And inside of this I'll write add function with 2 comma 2 and comma 4, like this, right? So what is happening, that we are now checking for the positive number of the add function, right? This is for the positive number. Similarly, let's create few more for the negative number, and let's do it for the mixed number. So let's just change the values here. Let's make it -2 and -2, and here let's make it -4. And similarly for here, let's do it -2 and 2, and let's give this at 0, right? So this is what, this is doing what we are doing. We are making subtests, sorry, uh, subtests, right? So it is a smaller test inside a bigger test, right? So bigger test is what, basically we are working for the add function, and smaller test, that all these different like positive number, negative number, and mixed number, these are all what, these are small tests, right, of that particular. So let's do one thing, that let me just comment down, otherwise it will be too much bulky in the terminal. Let's write, so let's just save it and go to the terminal, and now let's clear it out. And now I'll do a node dash dash test and press enter. And you can see that testing add with multiple cases, means add function with the multiple cases. So all the cases that we want, that for the positive number, for the negative number, for the mixed number, for all the cases, that particular add function is working correctly, right? So testing add with multiple cases is our correct, right? So you can see 4 tests, suits are 0, pass are 4, and the fails are 0. So this is showing me that yes, our add function is totally correct with all the multiple scenarios that could possible, right? So this is all about today's video. I explain you that how we work with the test suits and the subsets in the math.test.js file, right? So thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.